Forex market, good morning traders. Thursday, here we go. We got the pound Canadian today, guys, because we feel that this might be our next bearish campaign right here, pound Canadian. In fact, this is coming straight from our watch list, and that's because we were watching, the pound Canadian. We were ready, literally with our finger on the trigger. Once price was breaking 74.02, because prices started to trade sideways in a very local fashion. I'm talking about this blue system presenting this particular formation. Up until now, we had 3 swings. The third swing was the most impressive one because it went straight to the very edge of the system, 75.05, and spiked it quite nicely. I mean, if you take a close look, you can see what happened even before price edged, went to the very edge. It actually tried to break below. It tried to cross back below 74.02 back at the, about 3 days ago, right? It spiked that level. Obviously, it turned into a supported price and sent it straight to that 75.05, which it failed to break. So now it's coming back down, right? But again, we were ready. Like I said, we were ready to pull the trigger, but then we saw this, right? Because what we needed to see is price breaking down 74.02 with at least a daily breakdown confirmation. And we didn't have that, right? Yesterday was actually quite interesting to see how price bounced back up. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to break down. It just means that there's a stiff support at this point. Price is battling down against that level. But we think it might be successful today, right? This is why we're here talking about it. I want to show you the bigger picture because we've been following the pound Canadian for a long time. In fact, the bigger picture shows how price came from the lower section of this big key level system. Now we're talking about the black one, right? The one that goes all the way back to 2019, the end of 2019, I have to say. But then, of course, like I said, just recently, price came from the lower section. It went straight to the mid-high key level and had a beautiful touchdown here on 75.84. That's a big resistance level. From that point, price went down, but it didn't go as far as hitting the lower section again, which is 71.22. On the way, just before it reached that area, it turned back up and started to develop a lower scale sideways movement that we just talked about, right? Presented, beautifully presented by this, blue system, right? A lower scale key level system. So now we're thinking about, this is a short-term type of trading opportunity. Once price breaks here 74.02, we can jump in and try to catch about, I would say 200 pip, but it's 200 pip from this point, right? It's not going to be 200 pip. It's probably going to be less than that, probably like 150 or something in that area, as long as we're going to have a mild breakdown. Because if the breakdown is going to be aggressive, it's going to eat the whole distance here, right? The whole move is going to be eaten. And obviously, we're going to be left with nothing to work with, which is why we need a mild breakdown that will leave us at least 100 pip, right? I mean, the 72.87, that's really the primary target. It has to be. That's just the mid-low key level. It's a big support level, right? So 72.87 is the primary target as far as our game plan goes. However, we see 72.08 here as the final destination, right? So I'm just saying, if price will be able to break down mildly and we'll be able to come back tomorrow and see that breakdown confirmation, we can start and pull, and establish that short position, aiming at both 72.87 and 72.08. Right? Why do we think 72.08 is a legit target? Well, because that's where the previous low is. Right? Price just came from a definite high. Now we're talking only about this specific formation, right? This particular formation. So it just took the previous high, not the previous major high, obviously. But it took the previous local high, and we think it can do the same on the way down. Now, in addition to that, We also see the 200-day moving average crawling from below, right? Very suspicious. So it's a big area here. Price might actually spike 71.83 even. But yeah, so that's how we feel about the situation here. Pound Canadian, we're going to be watching this very closely, because it all boils down to the battle that's going down right now as we speak between price action and that 74.02. All right, guys. If this one's gonna be activated, we'll definitely come back soon to follow up on the situation. That's about that for the Pound Canadian. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.